Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and today's lesson is on circles. And I have a joke for you. How many sides does a circle have? I'm going to let you think about that while we do this video, and I will give you the answer at the end. Okay, please make sure that you have your notes. On the front page of your notes booklet, you see a circle, and you're going to need to identify or label the parts of a circle on this page. Okay, so a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a point called the center. Okay, so here's a point. This is called the center, and around it you have a whole bunch of little points, and they are all the same distance from the center. These points are what make a circle. Okay, the diameter is the distance across a circle through its center. So it's just a straight line, and it goes from one point on the circle through the center to another point on the circle. And the diameter can look differently. It doesn't have to be horizontally. It could be like this, as long as it goes from, whoops, what am I doing here? As long as it goes from one point on the circle through the center to another point. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Okay, it could go like this. It could go like this. Oh, I see what's happening. It's my new pen that's doing that. Still not used to it. There we go. So those are all diameters. Then we have what we call the radius. And the radius, you know what? Let me reset this so you can see the radius. The radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So it's any point on the circle to the center, or from the center to any point on the circle. Okay, from the center to any point on the circle. From the center to the circle. From the center to the circle. But those are all, the plural form of radius is radii. So these are all radii. They go from any point on the circle to the center. If you were to double the radius, it would make the diameter, wouldn't it? And then we have the circumference. The circumference is the distance around a circle. It's like what I call the perimeter of the circle. But circles are special, so they are not called, it's not called a perimeter. They get a special term called the circumference. But basically that's what it means. The distance around a circle is the perimeter around a circle. Okay, please make sure that you've labeled all of the parts on your circle on the first page of your notes, and that you've turned the page and you've filled in all of the vocabulary terms. Pause the video if you need to so that you can stay caught up. Okay, the diameter, which is denoted by the lowercase letter d, of a circle is twice its radius, which is r. So there's a little formula to find the diameter. If you know the radius and you want to find the diameter, you just multiply the radius by 2. d equals 2 times r, 2r. On the other hand, the radius, r, is half of its diameter, d. So if you know the diameter and you want to find the radius, you're just going to divide it by 2. Pretty simple, right? Okay, let's try some. I'm actually going to go ahead and write this on my paper. The radius is going to be the diameter divided by 2, and the diameter, whoops, that wasn't a very good d, it's going to be 2 times the radius. Alright, we want to find the radius and diameter of each circle. Okay, we're given something here. Are we given the radius or are we given the diameter? Well, if you look at the r and you look at the d for diameter, you'll see that the d is longer than the r. So the d is the diameter. It's the longer piece, the longer one. Radius is the shorter one. So in example A here, we are given the radius. The radius is 5 millimeters. Make sure you include the units. And to find its diameter, we just multiply it by 2. 5 times 2 is 10, so the diameter is 10 millimeters. Example B, we're given the longer line, so we're given the diameter. So the diameter is 12 centimeters. And to find the radius, we just divide the diameter by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so the radius is 6 centimeters. Here, we're given the radius, because it's the shorter line. It goes from the center to a point on the circle. So the radius is going to be 11 meters. To find the diameter, we multiply the radius by 2 and we get 22 meters. And I just want to say really quickly, you could have other lines on your circle like this. That is not the radius because it doesn't go through the center, does it? That is not the diameter. Yes, it goes from one point on the circle to another point on the circle, but it doesn't go through the center. Okay, these have different terms that you will learn about in geometry class. It's not something that we need to worry about here in 6th grade. We're just going to focus on radius and diameter. Okay, our last example, F, 30 millimeters. This goes from one point through the center to another point on the circle. It's a longer line, so it's our diameter. So our diameter is 30 millimeters. And to find the radius, we just divide the diameter by 2, and that gives us 15. So simple, yet so important. This relationship between the radius and the diameter, you're going to use it for a lot of things. You're going to use it for circumference. You're going to use it for finding area of circles. You're going to use it when you get into spheres, when you get into surface area, when you get into volume of spheres. So important that you understand this relationship between the radius and the diameter, and that you can figure it out just like that. All right, Zach has a can of beans in the pantry. The circle lid has a radius of 5 centimeters. What is the lid's diameter? If you need to draw a picture, draw a picture. Here's my center. The radius R is the smaller, so that's the line from the center to a point on the circle. That is 5. If I want to find the diameter, I need to double it. So 5 times 2 is 10. So the diameter of the lid is going to be 10 centimeters. And that's all there is to it. Ah, you thought I was going to forget about the answer to the joke. All right, how many sides does a circle have? So your last chance to come up with an answer. The answer is 2. What? Yes, a circle has an inside and an outside. Bye.